Hello, my name is Alan Joss, the creator of the OPT Calculator app. The goal of this application is a tool to assist international students to determine what dates to use for their post-completion OPT application, to provide some guidance around when the application can be sent to USCIS, and to provide a summary of the details. It is important to note that this is a tool and may not answer complex scenarios that any advising should be done by your school's International Student Advisor or DSO. On the first screen, you will be prompted to enter a program end date. This date is typically defined institutionally. For example, a bachelor's or master's degree student, this end date may be the graduation date of their program. For a PhD student, it may be the day that the PhD candidate defends their work. It is important to make sure to know what these dates are from your institution before starting entering information. For example, I am going to enter 5/31/2016 as a program end date. So I click on the program end date and I toggle through here to find May 31st. This will be my example program end date of the upcoming year of 2016. It is important to note that once you select a date, that you click on the Done feature to make sure that it registers within the app. So now that I've entered my program end date, I'm going to continue on to the second screen. And the second screen is the screen where you can enter your desired OPT start date. This will be the start date that you're asking for your work card to begin. So in the green, you can see the dates that you can select the OPT, and this is determined by the program end date, which you just entered on the previous screen. So the earliest that the program, or rather the OPT start date, can start is the day immediately following the program end date, and no later than 60 days following the program. So in this scenario, I'm going to select July 2nd, or rather July 1st, as my desired OPT start date. July 1st, 2016, and remember again to select Done. So I've selected my program end date on the previous screen, and now I've entered my program start date. I will continue on to the third screen. Now this is where the OPT calculator can become very useful. So within OPT period, you receive 365 days. However, if you've used any time throughout your program at a pre-completion capacity, it is subtracted from the 365 days available at the end of your program. So I'm going to provide you a couple of samples. However, if you haven't had any pre-completion OPT, you can simply select No and continue on to the next screen. However, for the purpose of this demonstration, I will enter a couple of examples to show how the calculator works. So first I will select Yes. And in the first scenario, I'm going to enter a part-time pre-completion period during the fall semester of 2013. So I go back and I look at my previously approved card dates, and I find the start date was September 1st, and that was 2013. Again selecting Done, and then going back to my card, I also see that the program, or rather the end date of the OPT card issued, was December 31st. So I will select December 31st as the end date of this period of OPT on the card that was issued. And again, making sure that I select Done. And you can see down here that the OPT calculator has started to deduct the number of days from 365. However, this instance was at a part-time capacity at 20 hours or less per week. So you can toggle between full-time and part-time. So in this instance, if you toggle over to part-time, you see that you gain back some OPT time towards the 365 days. That's because any work done pre-completion at part-time is only deducted in half. So the nice feature of the OPT calculator is that it calculates this for you. So it asks if you have any additional OPT periods, and then in this instance I have one more case. Just to let you know, you can continue adding as many periods of pre-completion OPT as you've had. So I will continue on to the next period of OPT. So for my second period of OPT, I'm looking at my start dates on the card, and this was for a summer full-time period in 2014. So I'm going to select the start date in 2014, and that was June 1st of 2014. Make sure I select done, and then I go ahead and enter the end date in 2014, which was August 31st. So I will use August 31st, 2014, and select done. So it was at a full-time capacity, so I have to select full-time, and in this instance I don't have any additional periods of OPT, so I can continue on to the third, or rather the fourth final screen. So this is the last screen, the summary screen. In the first section, you can see the date that you selected that you wanted your OPT to start, which was July 1st of 2016. And based off of all the previous pre-completion OPT period time, the end date can be January 28th of 2017, and you had 212 days left for this period of OPT. So the next section shows you when you can actually send this application to USCIS. So USCIS will only take an application 90 days prior to the program end date. So this is predetermined for you right here. So based on the program end date for this individual, the earliest they can submit their application to USCIS is March 2nd. And then the application can be received no later than 60 days following the program. So that would be July 31st. And this was, again, these dates are based off of the program end date that we entered on the first screen. The next section is a flag indicator of whether or not this person would be eligible to apply for or receive the automatic CapGap extension. Since this OPT end date is January 28th, 2017, this person wouldn't be eligible for the CapGap extension. For more information on the CapGap, it's important to speak to your international student advisor for more details. It's possible that sometimes you can change start dates if possible to move this date out to the April 1st filing date. But again, your international student advisor should provide you more information on this. The next part is a reminder that will go to you once your OPT start date has moved beyond 30 days. It's a reminder that you're still responsible for letting your international student advisor know of any residential US changes while on OPT. Also, it's a reminder to send any updated employer information to your advisor. And finally, in the upper part of the screen, you will see three icons. The first icon that you've seen on every page following the second page is the Start Over button. So if you would like to start over and enter some new dates, you can do so. The next icon is the print icon. You can print this summary out to a local printer. And the final one that is on here is the email option, which is my favorite because I like to receive things through email, which then you could print out if you'd like or forward on to someone. And you can go ahead and click on that, and it'll pull up a summary and it'll email it to you. You'll be prompted. This is a simulator mode, so it won't actually do all the functions, but in the real function, it will prompt you to send out this summary to an email address. So this concludes the demonstration, and I hope you find this app as a useful tool. And again, any of these details should be discussed with your international student advisor for further advisement. Thank you.